Good afternoon and welcome to People Power. My name is Joshua Mugumo and I'm your host. Society is made up of communities and communities are made up of individuals of different age groups. And one of the age groups is the youth. They are leaders of tomorrow and leaders have to be empowered. That's why today we are going to talk about youth power. And to do just that, we are joined today by Mr. Reginald Mobi. Mr. Reggie, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Mukumo, for welcoming me to this show.
Yes.
Allow me to greet the viewers and the followers of this particular channel.
Yes.
And thank you for inviting me. By the way, my name is Reginald Mobi, as you have already elaborated on that.
Yeah.
I'm a child grown or born and bred at a village called Mugomeni.
Yes.
And by the way, I'm a teacher who is teaching accounting. And as a young person, as you have already said, that we will be talking about youth power, I believe that it is very much imperative that as a young person, I must also take charge into building the future that we need to see, especially the accountants of tomorrow. Because today, as we are talking in the society or in the community, accounting, it is no longer the subject that is loved and followed by many people or by many young people. So as a young person, I believe that I can play a role that young people can love to follow in building up the accounting or the accountants in the community. So hence I'm here today. I believe that I can still play that role of motivating the young people to follow their dreams and to know that it is not yet over up until it's over.
Wonderful. So our subject for today is youth power. Just tell us, what is youth power?
Thank you. Let me try and answer the question. Youth power, I believe that it refers to the manner in which young people are being capacitated or engaged into the spheres that are taking or are around the society itself. So in other words, if young people are being engaged or capacitated in other things, that's what we'll be telling or we'll be talking about youth power in that particular manner.
Yeah, in simple terms, youth power, according to you, is simply capacitating young people in specific areas of their lives so that they can execute specific tasks, be it within their community or within their workplace.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. So how important is youth power for a community?
Youth power is very much important, my man. You know, when we're talking of youth, we are talking particularly about the future of the community.
Yeah.
There is no way you're going to talk about the future of the community without mentioning the young people. Yeah. Because if you are talking about tomorrow, you will be talking about the young people. So who is tomorrow that you don't even see the importance of? So we must at all times see the importance of having youth power in the community. Young people must be engaged. Young people must be capacitated in all the spheres that are around their lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, they must be part and parcel of every program that has to do with the running of the community.
Each and every program must have the young people engaged.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of youth power, to be specific, must the community have amongst its young people?
Youth power in this particular manner?
Because it is a broad subject. So to be specific, what kind of youth power or in which areas specifically must they be capacitated?
First and foremost, allow me to say, Mr. Mukumo, young people must not be limited to exercise their power.
Yeah.
Because in each and every sector of life, that is where we need young people. And if we are going to say that young people must have a specific category where they should be involved, we will be limiting them. So young people must not be limited as to where they must be found in. So when we say youth power, we are particularly saying that young people must be engaged in each and every single thing where that is going to affect the community. Because the advancement and the development of community, it starts with the young people. They are the future of this community. So why should you limit them to come and grow the future?
Okay, well, with that said, does it mean that young people in the community must have unlimited power?
Yes.
They can use to do almost anything?
No, it is not a matter of having them doing anything, but then it's a matter of them having been engaged into everything. You know, my brother.
Because you see, power it's something that is very elusive.
Yes.
And if there are no limitations around it, it can be misused, and sometimes people can get hurt in the process.
It's not a matter of not limiting power.
Yeah.
It's a matter of not limiting segmentations.
Yeah.
Young people must not be limited into certain spheres.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they must be engaged in each and everything, but then power can be limited on them. Because as you said, my brother, that power is elusive. Yes, power at some point can destroy a person.
Yeah.
So hence they must be limited with power, but then not segmentation.
Okay, the question then becomes, how much exactly can they be allowed to do with this power, and how much can they not be allowed?
The question on it only will depend on which segmentation will we be talking about. Because sometimes the issue of limiting power from the young people, it is not going to work, because we'll be talking about the projects where young people must be fully capacitated. And then let's talk about the issue of the horror, for instance.
Yeah.
Young people must be engaged, but then they must not take part, or they must not have power over everything, because the horror, particularly when we talk of the horror, we are talking of the old people who are leading those particular things. So in that particular leadership, there should be places where young people should take part, and then they must not take the whole charge of those the horror. So at some point they are limited, but then they are not limited from forming part of that particular segment.
Yeah. Or meaning that the limitations that exist will be removed step by step as they'll be growing in that field and understanding what is happening there.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. So in what ways exactly should youth power be used so that empowerment can be achieved amongst young people?
The manner in which youth power should be used, it should not be a power that is going to destroy the community. Because when you give someone power, they think that they've got the right to do everything, and then at the end of the day, they end up misleading the society.
Yeah.
Let it be the power that will be there to develop and to grow this community to become the better community we want to see.
Yeah.
Because if we are going to say that let's do everything with the power we are having, at some point we are going to destroy and distort the future mission that we are having.
Yeah.
Yes. So people must get to understand that having power does not mean that you have to do everything that you are thinking of. You know, many people today, when they think of power, they think that they must just go and disrupt each and everything. That is not the power that young people must be having. No.
Yes.
We must be having the power to say that now we are going to develop the society with or without anything. That is the power that we are talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Meaning it should be used for strictly positive purposes.
Positive effect in the community. That is what we need.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you tame them from using it for other things that are certainly not in the best interest of the community?
Taming the young people not to do things that are going to be negative impacts in the community. You ought to do what we call, what we were talking about at first, to say that young people must be engaged. You know, by the moment you start to engage a young person, you are, by the way, saying to that particular individual, do not include yourself into disruption or things that are going to negatively impact this particular community.
Yeah.
Because by the moment you are going to be giving them direction on how they must come and develop the community, on how they must come and make sure that whatever they are doing, it is working for the best of the community. But by the moment you don't engage the young people, you are, by the way, saying to them, do everything you want. So that is where the youth power will be seen to be useless.
Or there comes in the element of mentoring them into specific areas to make sure that they are not set up for failure.
Yes, young people must be mentored on how to work for the future of this community.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So how important is youth participation in community leadership decision-making processes? Because in every community, there's a leadership structure. How important is the participation of young people in those leadership structures?
Since we are talking about the youth participation in the leadership decision making, my brother, you must get to understand that leadership decision making, it means that those people will be making decisions for the future. Because the decision you make today, it is not only going to work for the day, but then it is also going to work for tomorrow. So how do you make a decision that is going to work for tomorrow without people that will be existing in the tomorrow? So young people must be engaged, and their participation is of paramount importance in each and every engagement where decision will be made. Because if we are not going to engage them, we are, by the way, assassinating the future of this community. Yes.
Because in the beginning, I mentioned that the youth is the leadership of tomorrow.
Correct.
So it is important that they be engaged in every element of leadership of their particular community.
Absolutely.
But then amongst our communities, we still have leadership structures that don't want to engage young people. And they are the leadership of tomorrow. They are the ones who will take over tomorrow. So how do we address such issues of young people not being allowed to participate?
You know, the problem with our community elders is that they are the ageist of note. They don't want to be told anything by the young people.
Exactly.
If you tell them something, they will be telling you of their age. We are too old from your age. You can't be telling us this. You are disrespectful and all that. But then people must get to understand that there will be no future without the youth. There will be no future. So if it means that young people must not be engaged, it means that there will no longer be development in the community if they die. If they wake up tomorrow dead, all of them, what will be happening? What will be happening in this community? So old people must get to understand that community is not all about them. It is all about the generation to come. Hence, young people must be engaged. It does not end here with me and you, Mr. Mukumu. It also goes to the generation that will be coming after our generation.
Because if you check very well, we are stuck with these people and these elements within them because they don't want to engage young people. And tomorrow, you and I will be the leaders of that particular community. So should we find ourselves in a situation where we are presented with a leadership structure, we were never mentored in the first place, how do we deal with such a scenario?
The problem is that, Mr. Mukumu, you know, if we as young people are not mentored on how to lead this community, we're going to have a misled community. And a misled community is a permanent degeneration of some sort. So if we are going to have a future that is degenerating, we are not going to go anywhere as a community. So it must start now to say that old people must get it very clear in their ears and in their minds that it must be the notion of the day that young people must form part of each and everything. Because if we are not part and parcel of each and everything that is taking place in the community, we are not going anywhere.
Because another challenge that we have is that, yes, you can try to talk to them that, you see, we are the future. You need to engage us in these things, but then they don't want to listen. So which way must we use to convey this message? Because it is important that it be conveyed and they understand it the way they should understand it.
You know, if they don't understand that we want to be part and parcel of their engagements or whatever thing that is happening, then we must take charge by force. We must take charge. Because if we are not going to take charge, they are going to relax. By the moment they relax, and then even us as young people, we will be relaxing.
Now, clarify that part where you say by force. Because when you take by force, there's never a space in between them being in charge and you achieving control by force where mentorship was done by them to you. So
when I'm saying,
how will that work?
When I'm saying by force, in other words, I'm not saying that we are going to fight them literally. we must make sure that we enforce some of the structures, or we make some of the structures that will forcefully be part of them, with or without them liking it. Because if we are not going to do that, we are not going to go anywhere, my brother. Me and you now.
Development.
Very, very clear. Very, very much absolute. You know, my brother, when we're talking of the development, we are not talking of water being available in the community.
Because development is broad.
Yes. We are talking about the manner in which the supply of water is moved from one stage to the other. Water can be available, yes, but without applying measures that will make it available in the near future. So we must go as young people, have ways that will be able to say that even if water is provided today, these are the measures that will make this water available in the near future. That is the development we are talking about. Now we are talking of technology in the community.
Yeah.
My brother, I'm telling you, old people, they know nothing about technology.
Exactly.
They just know how to press laptop or computer, or how to type a letter there. But then they don't know how to develop that particular technology.
Exactly.
Hence, we are saying that youth power is very much imperative into the development and advancement of this community. Because there is no way you're going to talk of the development or advancement of the community without mentioning the young people. You will be lying to yourself.
So meaning that the young people of our communities, they have the potential to take the quality of life of their communities to a much higher level than what it is now.
Definitely. But then we are not capacitated.
Yeah.
We are not capacitated. Hence, people, they will move from this community and go to Joburg. When they come back later, they still complain about development. Why? Because young people are not capacitated.
Now, the question is, how do we capacitate our young people to prevent that constant migration? Because at some point, even our communities have to be developed enough and appealing for the young people to want to stay there and be part and parcel of everyday life.
First and foremost,
rather than just coming back during December holidays.
Yes. So first and foremost, my brother, it must start with the community being able to initiate development committees.
Yeah.
Development committees that must 60% consist of young people.
Yeah.
Because if we are not, we must also have old people to come and guide us here and there.
Exactly.
But then youth power is going to be very much important because it will be playing a very huge role into that particular development, bringing up.
It will be the driving force of the whole thing.
Yes, it will be the driving force of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So now, it does not matter where you will be at, but then young people must be engaged to be part and parcel of those committees that will be saying that now we are going for development. Now we are going for this and that. Now we are going for this particular project. Young people must be part and parcel of that. Because tomorrow, if they are not going to be part and parcel of those things, tomorrow they are the ones who will be saying that these community leaders are not working. Whereas they are bringing a whole lot of things, a whole lot of projects that are not even working for the benefit of our communities. Exactly. Today, as communities, we are crying about network problems. Why? Because there are no young people engaged that will be talking about such in the meetings. When a young person is raising up the hand, they are saying, no, sit down.
Exactly.
Because we are forever useless in their eyes. And then when we raise up a situation, they say, no, you are disrespectful. Because they don't want to engage young people in these communities. So young people must be engaged in a form of committees. That is why you will see that young people are not useless in the community.
Okay, so how can you tell the young people, or how can the young people put the elders of their communities at ease so that they'll be delighted to embrace the wave of change? Because change is inevitable in every community. As long as there's movement, there will be change at some point.
Yes. You know, my brother, we must be able to engage them first and foremost.
Yeah.
As young people, if they are failing to engage us, then why don't we engage them and see how best can we do? Because if we are going to sit down and say no, they will come to us, and then time is moving. Time is moving. Change is inevitable, as you said.
Yeah.
You can't stop the change. Change is coming, but then the problem is that we are not going to be able to adapt to that change because of the leaders in the forefront.
Yeah.
So let us go and engage these old people, try to convince them on how best can we enlighten this particular community.
Exactly.
Because now we must have the friendship with our elders. They must be our friends. And they must get to understand that it is not a matter of age. It's a matter of mind.
Yeah.
What is it that you are bringing on the table?
Exactly.
Yes. So we must at all times try to build up proper ideas that will be of charisma in their ears when we tell them about those ideas. So that after listening to us, they will be able to say tomorrow that in a meeting to say, no, we've got a boy there called by Reginald. Can we please call him to be part and parcel of this particular thing?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So that is what we are doing in our communities.
Yeah. So in as far as capacitation is concerned, how do you tie it up with education? Because we have those young people who despise being educated. And I believe it's very, very important that we be educated so that we can be able to adapt to different waves that come every season.
The problem is that, my brother, when we go to the schools, we are going there so that we can look for employment. And that is a very wrong thing. That is, no, it is not a very wrong thing, but then it is what life gave us.
Yeah.
When we go to schools, we know very well that after graduating, I will find a job.
Yeah.
After finding a job, then I will be rich.
Exactly.
You see? So now the problem is that things are changing bit by bit. You can go to school and graduate and never find a job of that particular degree that you are having.
Yeah.
So now we must get to understand education, it is not about finding employment. It is about enriching your mind so that you can be able to reason.
Yeah.
More than just finding a job. Because if you're going to school just to find a job, then where will you find reasons? Because in education, we are preparing ourselves for a better reasoning.
Yeah.
Yes. If now, my brother, you did not go to school, you are not going to call me here and interview me.
Yeah,
but then
it's true.
You see it important that I must sit down with my brother and then discuss the importance of this community. Discuss the things that are taking place in the community with my brother here. Because at some point, you are educated.
Yeah.
Young people must get it like that. Exactly. Education, it is not about employment. It is about your reasoning capacity.
So is it fair enough if we say that when you don't want to get educated, you will end up in a situation where you have very, very limited participation in the advancement of the community?
Absolutely.
You'll be a bystander.
What will you be doing? Who is going to take you serious without education, my brother, in the community? Because when we're talking of the advancement, it starts from here.
Yeah.
And advancement, it starts from here.
Yeah.
If your mind is advanced, and to advance your mind, you must go for extra education.
Yeah.
Don't just graduate for diploma and relax. It goes somewhere else. Keep on studying, keep on graduating, so that you get your mind advanced. Don't just pass grade 12 and relax.
Yeah.
No, it does not end there. Keep on reading so that your mind can be advanced. So that when you talk of the community advancement, you will be part and parcel of that. We will know very well that we can rely upon your thinking.
Yeah.
Even if sometimes you can be saying some things that are not proper, but for the mere fact that you are educated, one word will be taken.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wonderful. So as much as youth power is a collective thing, it is also personal. So how can individual young people realize youth power on a personal level? Because I think it must start on a personal level before it becomes a collective thing.
Yeah, no, very, very much clear. My brother, it must start on a personal level indeed. Because if personally I don't see that youth power is important, I will never be able to go and participate outside.
Exactly.
So it must start with myself. How do I realize that youth power is important personally? I have to start by myself, knowing that there is the future ahead of me that I must attain.
Yeah.
That is the youth power that I'm talking about. If personally you can see that there is the future that I have to attain at a certain point, and then it does not matter what comes sideways, but that for as long as there is that thing that I have to attain, I must go for it. You know, CIC once said, people will bring all sort of insult, they will try to put you down. But for as long as you have got the appointment with the future, keep on moving. So it is just a matter of realizing that you have got the appointment with the future. It starts there. You have the appointment with the future, go for it. That is where you will be realizing your power upon yourself.
So it starts by coming into realization with the appointment with the future, and afterwards capacitating yourself in order to fulfill that
to attain that.
Wonderful.
Very much imperative.
Yes. No, I agree with you. And thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you,
for
Mr.
this wonderful discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Muguma. I hope the community will be able to go and do the right thing.
Definitely.
We have elaborated a lot on this issue. Young people must go and take charge in each and everything.
Exactly.
Must go and avail themselves, must go and be visible in the community advancement meetings, in the community development meetings. Let us go and be part and parcel of each and every single engagement that is taking place in our community. I thank you, Mr. Mukumu.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is Mr. Reginald Mowe talking to us today about youth power. Thank you very much for watching, and we love you so much that whenever we load an episode, we want you to be the first one to know about it. And in order for that to happen, please click the subscribe button below right here on the screen, and you'll be the first one to know whenever we load an episode. Thank you very much and stay blessed. Bye.